We have three people to open the conference today. We have Jeffrey Smart. Jeffrey is the Vice President International and Students, and Jeffrey has been at Swinburne since 2008 and now has a large portfolio which includes the planning and management of student administration and admissions, student services, marketing, student recruitment, international operations and global development, and I think the list still goes on from there. Then we have Professor Michael Gilding. Professor Gilding is the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Business and Law. He provides academic leadership and executive management to the faculty, and he leads the faculty in developing Swinburne's reputation in the fields of teaching and research. And finally, we have Professor Bernadine van Gramberg. Professor van Gramberg is the Dean of the Swinburne Business School within the Faculty of Business and Law, and she leads the academic operations and development of the Swinburne Business School. So now I'd like to hand it to Jeffrey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Actually, I've been here since 2005, almost 10 years, and that's important because it was in 2005, I think, that the great enduring friendship between Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts, and Swinburne really took off. It's a wonderful conference, this one. For a person like me who has been involved for so long with the Northeastern program and with many staff and students who have studied and researched at both institutions, it's exceptional to be able to welcome so many new people into this glorious partnership. It really is quite something. Swinburne and Northeastern University are both similar institutions. We both live in education cities where we're surrounded by many other university brands. Boston is an amazing student city, university city, as is Melbourne. We're both entrepreneurial universities. We're both, I think, nimble, innovative and ambitious. I think it's true that both universities will not take the challenge to fight against the status quo. We think that together we can create something truly magnificent that is greater than the sum of its parts. So welcome to all of you from Northeastern. There are so many of you here, but also there are many people in the room who, because of their association with this relationship, are actually part of both student communities. So I can see some Global Leadership Program students here in front of me. There are many others. These students are students in two universities at once. The Global Leadership Program allows students to study here in Melbourne and to undertake a Swinburne master's degree alongside an American or a Northeastern master's degree. We have great people like Leslie and Rick who are visiting us almost every year to deliver the Northeastern component of the program. Students don't have to go to Boston, but many of them, of course, take up the opportunity to spend a time at the home campus of Northeastern over in Boston, and that is a wonderful experience. But the fact that we have students who are transacting two different academic cultures, they're working in two completely different classroom settings, one Australian, one American, is, I think, something quite exceptional. The friendship is about more than the Global Leadership Program, of course. It's about student and staff mobility. It's about research, and it is really terrific to see that the faculty, under the leadership of Michael Gilding and Bernadine, and the Swinburne Leadership Institute have jumped into this partnership or this relationship so strongly. I think it's true that the Faculty of Business and Law and the Swinburne Leadership Institute really own this partnership now, and that is at heart what makes a university partnership worthwhile. It makes it sing when our academic staff and our researchers are coming together to turn a partnership into everything that it truly can be. We of course also have the Northeastern in Australia program every year in second semester. More than 100, between 100 and 200 Northeastern freshmen spend their first college semester with us here in Australia. They're straight out of school, and rather than starting their first year of college in America, they jump on a plane and they come out here and they spend 6 months with us before going back to join the rest of the freshman class in January of the following year. These Northeastern students are just wonderful. They're just wonderful. And the whole university knows that they're about to arrive, and we can all tell when they actually have arrived because there's just, they're young people with no experience of college life yet. Perhaps they've never been outside of the United States before, and they're so positive and energetic and enthusiastic, and they teach all of us something about the great democracy that is the United States of America. I just want to end on a couple of words about our international engagement strategy. Swinburne aims to be Australia's leading university of science, technology and innovation by 2020. To do that, we think it's very, very important to select a couple of partners in different parts of the world with whom we have very, very strong relationships. Northeastern is a very good example, where the two universities come together and try to create something in teaching and research that's greater than the sum of its parts. Universities compete with one another in their national jurisdictions, but we also compete for students and for research talent and for research funding with all of the other universities around the world. So we believe through our international engagement strategy that by joining ourselves up with partners in Israel and China and America and Europe and Brazil, we can create something that is greater than the sum of its parts, and which will help both institutions to advance in the global rankings. Our engagement strategy is based on three principles. Mutuality. We believe that any partnership cannot just be about taking the best from one institution and sort of, stealing it, holding it close. We believe that both institutions have to benefit. Their students and their staff have to benefit from the partnership. The second principle is alignment. We don't want to be partners with universities who are completely different from us. We want to find institutions that share values and principles and visions that are similar to our own. And I think Swinburne and Northeastern are beautiful examples of that. And the final principle is advancement. What we want to do through partnered PhD programs, through research collaborations like the one that Professor Ming Gu has going on at the moment in Beijing Institute of Technology in China, that by getting together, hooking up our research talent, hooking up our funding, finding new ways to come together in research groups will advance both institutions. So mutuality, alignment and advancement are the three principles on which our international engagement strategy rests. And this gathering today and this partnership that we're, in a sense, celebrating is a perfect example of how two universities can come together to create something that is of a greater benefit than we can deliver as individual institutions in our own cities and countries. So welcome everybody. I really hope that you enjoy today. There's another kind of small meeting going on in Australia over the weekend about global leadership. We tried to get the heads of the world's 20 largest economies to join us for this event, but they had something else going on up in Queensland, so never mind. I'm sure this will be a far more sensible gathering than the one up in Brisbane. Thank you very much and good luck. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, staff and students of Northeastern University and Swinburne University of Technology, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Global Leadership Conference, and it's great to see so many both familiar faces and unfamiliar faces here today. I'm delighted that the inaugural conference is being held in Melbourne. I'm delighted that we have so many visitors from Northeastern University, and I'm delighted that we have such an excellent program to look forward to today. One of the benefits of this conference has been that we have had so many visitors from Northeastern, and it has provided us with an opportunity to deepen our relationship with Northeastern. Rebecca Riccio, are you here today? You are? Over there, I was looking for you. So I've actually had the opportunity to attend a workshop run by Rebecca, and Rebecca has actually run several workshops around her philanthropy program at Northeastern University. And it was a truly sensational presentation, and it's already delivered benefits for our own Centre for Social Impact and Asia Pacific Centre for Social Investment and Philanthropy at Swinburne. So I'm sure as this institution develops and as the conference develops and goes on, we will see the relationship continue to deepen. In contemplating the theme for today's conference of leadership, it seems to me that commentary around leadership can often quickly descend into platitudes where everyone is in furious agreement. It often becomes focused upon the great virtues of leadership around, courage and wisdom and justice and qualities like this. And of course, all of these qualities are incredibly important. But it seems to me that sometimes we risk, in talking about leadership, missing out the fact that leadership is invariably accompanied by great controversy and drama and often polarisation, and it involves often the most difficult and wicked problems that we have to deal with in our times. And in reflecting on great leadership in the past, it's often easy to forget the drama and the controversy that accompanied those kind of breakthrough moments. If we think of the great American presidents, Washington and Lincoln and Roosevelt, they were actually in many ways highly controversial and polarising figures who actually managed to galvanise their country around common programs. In Australia, we don't have the same canon of great leaders, but we have seen the passing of Gough Whitlam only a few weeks ago. And Whitlam, of course, was it's amazing how the eulogies have been thick and fast on Whitlam's leadership qualities and his ability to make breakthrough changes in Australian society. But of course, there was no more controversial and polarising figure in 20th century Australia than Whitlam. And so I think it's important to remember the drama and controversy and the deeply contested nature of leadership when reflecting on it. And of course, global leadership is especially challenging because it's not just about galvanising and creating a pathway in a nation state, it's about actually transcending nation states and overcoming national sensitivities and arriving at grand coalitions. We had an announcement yesterday with the President of the United States and the President of China around global warming, and there is no more greater occasion for global leadership than global warming in the world today. But as we know in Australia, global warming itself is highly contested and an issue which is incredibly hard to actually lead on, because the challenges that we face aren't just in our face. They're not like a war or something which requires an immediate response. It's actually it's a change by slow degrees. It requires leadership over a long term. It requires a different kind of leadership. So in this conference, I look forward to learning about global leadership. I look forward to insights that cut through the platitudes that can sometimes accompany commentary around global leadership. And I look forward to a conference which builds on our partnership and provides a building block for a fine tradition of conferences going forward. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I will be brief because we have a very big day ahead of us, but I really did want to personally welcome you here today on behalf of my colleagues in the Swinburne Business School. And I wanted to tell you about our hope for the future of our students, because we strive to create innovative leaders for the future who are going to make a big difference in the lives of their families, their communities, and the world. And this is a great example today as we all come together with our partners at Northeastern University to explore the ways that we can do exactly that. So that's all I wanted to say. You'll see me again at the end of the day. I'm going to share some of my reflections along the way, the conversations I have with people in the breakout sessions, and of course the speakers for today. So welcome and enjoy today.
This has been a Swinburne production.